fractured lives. Numbers can't capture the human cost of the genocide. Imagine the fear of a young Tutsi woman named Amani felt, hiding with her family for weeks, the constant hunger and thirst gnawing at them. Or consider the agonizing choice faced by a Hutu teacher, Jean Pierre, who risked his life to shelter Tutsi students from the militia. These are just a few of the countless stories of resilience and heartbreak that emerged from the dark period. We'll hear from a survivor, and let him tell you the story of his father, how his father was killed. So let's hear.
The morning of the night, 2 presidential guards come to our house in a jeep, in a French jeep. I don't know what kind. I was 7 years old. They came to our house, the gate, and they were looking for him. They knocked and asked the housekeepers. The gates, they're like, they first tried to get it open, but it would not open. He's not open. He's not expecting you. We're not opening for you. That's what the housekeeper said. Well, the fence was pretty high fence, like 4 feet, 5 meters. So to open the gate, they had to jump over. So they went back to the jeep. They grabbed ropes, wires, or however you call it. They threw them over the fence, and they climbed one by one to the other side. They get inside the compound. My dad was seeing this from the woman that was hiding, was the white woman. She was like, they're going to find the ladder that we climb to come to this fence. And if they do, they will come here. And they're killing all of us. So let me take one for the team. Yeah. So he talks to my mother. My mother is like, look, I'm going to go and I'm not coming back because they're looking for me. They're going to kill me. But talk to this guy, talk to that guy, money's here, see you in heaven. He says bye to us and goes back over the fence, back to our compound. And he says, hey guys, you're looking for me, I'm here. We are here for your blood. Talk to him, they take him. And you're not going to survive. So they tell him, you have 3 minutes to, they ask him, you want the bullet or you want the pistol? The AK-47, you want direct bullet or AK-47? So he pulls out a pistol and says, we were watching this from the window, and they asked him, do you want the bullet to the head or to the heart? And temple. He said, give me 3 minutes. Then we pray. Gets on his knees, looks up in the air. While he's praying, his 3 minutes is up, and the guy goes to the side, takes the gun and pulls the trigger and kills him. How can I forgive? How can I say, you know what? Rest in peace, my dad. Everything is great now. This grave is good. Kumbaya, let's sing it. No, I can't. I'm affected heavily by what happened April 9th. She shows me the Hutu militia men, how they killed and maimed on that day. The tools of rural survival became the weapons of the genocide. Then she shows me how she escaped despite being 8 months pregnant through the bars of this window. And she shows me how she ran down a nearby hillside and hid in the swamp below for a month, where she gave birth.
Witness to hope, acts of courage. Amidst the darkness, stories of courage emerged. Hutu moderates defying extremist ideology, risking their own lives, protected their Tutsi neighbors. Many of them were killed. Many Hutu moderates were killed. So you had many Tutsis killed. You also had some Hutu moderates who refused to do those bidding. They were also killed. The RPF's advance and the end of genocide. The Rwandan Patriotic Front, a Tutsi rebel group fighting the Rwandan government since early 1990s, eventually gained control and stopped the genocide. Led by Paul Kagame, the RPF launched a counter-offensive, pushing back Hutu forces and capturing Kigali, the capital city. But let me say this. You had militia groups. Now, rather than the militia groups join the military to even fight the RPF, the Rwandan Patriotic Front, fight the Tutsi rebels, they didn't. They spent more time killing the Tutsis. They just went killing rather than supporting those people. Do you understand what I mean? To just show you how bad it was. They just wanted to end these guys. They went back killing. Right? Now, when RPF captured the capital city, this marked the official end of the genocide in July 1994. So from April to May to June to July, people were being killed every day.
At least 10,000 people every day.
However, the RPF's victory also raised questions. Some criticized their tactics and the potential for revenge attacks against the Hutus. Now, with all these stories aside, they were actually reprisal attacks. They were actually Hutus who were killed. So that led to a mass exodus of Hutus fearing retribution. One or two of them were killed. No, let me not say one or two. A lot of them were killed. All right, reprisal attacks like, hey, you killed my people, I'm going to kill you back, that kind of a thing. So a lot of them were killed. So many of them had to now leave. All right, leave the country. So over 2 million fled Rwanda, creating a refugee crisis in neighboring countries. So you had both Hutus and Tutsis that had fled. All right, but the Tutsis were beginning to come back because their people were getting back in control. All right, but the Hutus were the ones fleeing now. The long road to recovery. The scars of the genocide remain deep. Rebuilding Rwanda has been a long and difficult process. The country grappled with mass displacement, a shattered infrastructure, and a deep sense of national trauma. The Gakaka courts, a community-based justice system established in 1996, aimed to hold perpetrators accountable for their crimes. This court possessed a massive number of cases, but their effectiveness and fairness have been debated. Some criticize the Gakaka courts for relying on survivor testimony and lacking proper legal representation for the accused. Now, the Gakaka courts had to just happen because the number of cases and the number of people were so much, so they had to create several community courts around so that they could just deal with the cases as fast as possible. Reconciliation efforts continue with programs fostering dialogue and forgiveness between Hutus and Tutsis. People also do their own personal things. Hutus talking to Tutsis, Hutus apologizing for what they've done. Some of them apologized, went to jail, came out and felt sorry and returning things and all that. So there have been several ways they're trying to, reconcile. However, the trauma runs deep, impacting generations. Many survivors struggle with PTSD and the loss of a loved one. Healing and rebuilding trust takes time, and the Rwandan journey towards reconciliation is far from over. Many people do not want to reconcile, like these guys. But as we said, there are ways you too can get involved in reconciling people, making sure that this never happens again. Spread awareness about the genocide and the importance of preventing such atrocities. Educate yourself and others about the warning signs of ethnic division and the dangers of hate speech. Advocate for strong international responses to emerging conflicts. Remember the victims of the Rwandan Genocide, the Tutsis and the moderate Hutus. Work towards a more peaceful world. We honor their memory and we strive for a future where such tragedies never happen again. Thank you for joining us on this difficult journey. But it was important. Let's remember Rwanda and let's work for a world free of genocide. God bless.